This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, the days of speculation are over as the new site for the Dunedin Hospital rebuild is announced. A family of filmmakers travel around New Zealand for a film project on child abuse. And Dunedin's annual fashion show gets underway at the new Town Hall venue. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The new site for Dunedin's hospital has finally been announced, as including the disused Cadbury chocolate factory, as well as 2 nearby car parks. The South Today attended the media conference.
Crowds turned up this morning to hear the announcement of the site for Dunedin's new hospital. With $42 billion set aside over the next 5 years for capital projects, Health Minister Dr. David Clark said the hospital was one of the facilities that needed to be completely replaced.
Dunedin Hospital serves around 300,000 people across a geographic area twice the size of Belgium. And when we take that into account and think about the 50-year-old clinical services building that is on record as leaking sometimes when it rains, with the asbestos in the buildings and so on, there is no doubt that we need to upgrade the buildings.
The location of the new hospital will be on land that is currently the old Cadbury's building, plus the entire block that is currently housing Work and Income and was originally Big Fresh supermarket.
So the site that has been selected is the Cadbury block, the block immediately north, which we call the Wilson's block, and a little car park over toward the railway station, which will be a part of the Cadbury's purchase.
Dunedin's Mayor Dave Cole says he's pleased with the flexibility of the chosen site.
What I really appreciate is that the government has gone for more land than the minimum needed. So there's room for expansion, there's room for green space. That's very far-sighted and very prudent.
Dr. Clark agreed that flexibility was key to the location's choice.
I guess that gives the architects some scope. We've seen with the dental school building and other buildings in town, it doesn't hurt to have a bit of flexibility in terms of once you do geotechnical work, where the building would best and most easily and most cost effectively stand on the site. So it does give that flexibility. There's also the possibility as of doing things like having a combined research centre on site with the university, or a primary care facility, or shifting the oncology services across the road when that building reaches its end date, or eventually putting mental health services on the same site. So it future-proofs the site.
Mayor Cole says the announcement allows for other city planning to proceed.
This will be disruptive for quite a long time, and at least now we've got certainty as to exactly where it's going to go, so we can now start thinking about how does this interact with Council's plans for a centre city upgrade, how does it fit with the tertiary upgrade proposals.
The government is already in negotiations with the owners of the Cadbury site and has begun the process of purchasing the city block to the north. It is thought the rebuild project will employ up to 1,000 workers on site and will be completed in 2026. Dunedin, the South Today.
A house in South Dunedin where a couple were murdered earlier this year was subject to another fire early this morning. The blaze started at about 1 a.m. at the house where the bodies of Anastasia Margaret Neve and David N. Clark were found in January. The property, which is on Wesley Street, has since been abandoned. 3 crews of firefighters were called to this morning's fire to find the house engulfed in flames. Police said they would be conducting an examination, but the fire was not yet declared as suspicious. A family of filmmakers have travelled the length of the country to Invercargill on a mission to address child abuse in New Zealand. The Lane family have been on the road for just over a year for their film project Stop the Bus. Sharon Rees reports.
For the Lane family, this former school bus is home. The family of 6 is travelling the country to make a documentary which highlights the prevalence of child abuse and what Kiwi communities are doing to address it.
We're travelling New Zealand for just over a year to go into communities and find out what people are doing. So, what amazing initiatives are out there.
Irina, Chris and their 4 boisterous sons have sacrificed everyday comforts and personal space to focus on the issue. They hope to identify community initiatives that have a positive impact on children's lives and to encourage people to support them.
We've seen really amazing initiatives where they're using sports to teach other values, how we can treat one another, teamwork, all those things that can actually have a lasting effect on the child, and just other positive role models into those kids' lives.
As well as putting together a full-length documentary, the Lane family have another ambitious project in mind. They started by getting Te Awamatu residents to link arms and are hoping the rest of the country will follow suit in linking arms to bring the discussion to the forefront.
We really wanted to create something that was so big that it can't not be noticed, and that was kind of a tool for us to do that. And it was all these people from all walks of life making a stand together to value the children of our town.
The Lane family will retire from their travels in July to focus on editing their documentary and the Linking Arms project. For more information on the project and what you can do to help, visit stopthebus.co.nz. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Wanaka's Mount Aspiring College has announced how they will spend their $13 million redevelopment. The school has drafted a plan for numerous changes, including a new gym, a whare and 2 classroom buildings. The new design aims to be multi-use with a space for the teaching and learning of te reo, plus allowing more outdoor learning. Full visual details will not be made public until council negotiations are complete. Dunedin's annual fashion event held the first of 2 shows last night. Despite the awkward runway, the models navigated their way around the town hall without a hitch. The South Today was there.
There were plenty of colourful outfits on display at this year's ID International Emerging Designers Show in the warm and cosy environment of Dunedin's Town Hall. The audience was treated to a display of clothes which included gleaming silvered coats, strange denim creations, garments made of latex on wool, and swimsuits made from neoprene. Despite many of the models wearing extra high heels, it was a testament to their skills that they navigated the circuitous walkway around the town hall without incident. Just to be safe, an extra railing was installed along the balcony part of the model's route. The result was a show with up to 15 models wearing designs from 3 collections walking simultaneously, one group on the catwalk and the other 2 on the ground floor or in the upper gallery. Dunedin, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, we have a sneak preview of one of the upcoming events for the Southland Festival of the Arts, and Frankton residents voiced their concerns about parking in their area.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Wait for seed to germinate. Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Massive menswear sale on now. Alex Campbell Menswear have brought out a top suppliers warehouse and factory shop. Nothing but bargains for you. Hurry in, South Dunedin store only.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Welcome back. Invercargill will host its second White Night on Saturday to showcase local and national artists as part of the Southland Festival of the Arts. The former ASB building is just one location being taken over by various artists throughout the city centre. Sharon Rees has more.
Preparations were underway today for Invercargill's White Night being held tomorrow night. The city centre will act as a creative hub for local and national artists to perform and display their various art forms.
Basically, a White Night is lots of different events for free happening around the CBD, and so in this venue we've got some art, we've got some music, and we've got this wee exhibition that I'm doing.
Amundsen's White Night exhibition will focus on equality in New Zealand and will use extracts from interviews she conducted with Southern women.
I've interviewed them about what it's like to be a woman, and their growing up and their experiences and their hopes for the future and how they're raising their own families and things like that. And so for this exhibition, I've taken some extracts from those interviews just to speak to the issue around equality in New Zealand.
She said some people may be enlightened by hearing the true stories of Southern women, and it may change some perspectives.
For me, it's just about raising awareness. I think, in theory, we have equality in New Zealand between men and women and that kind of stuff. But in practice, it's not always what it seems, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to highlight here.
The Double Standard exhibition will be held in the old ASB building on Esk Street, which is one of 13 venues for artists. White Night starts from 6 p.m. on Saturday. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The mixed doubles curling tournament has been announced for this year's Winter Games and is to be a first for the Southern Hemisphere. Winter Games organisers hope this will help them achieve the goal of becoming an elite sporting event. The new event is likely to be popular as it will allow teams able to pick up valuable ranking points. The tournament will be held at the Maniatoto International Curling Rink in Naseby and at the end of August. Growing cars on paddocks, that's how one Frankton resident is describing a grass field in Frankton near Queenstown Airport, which is being filled with cars. Frankton Community Representative Glyn Lewis and other residents are concerned Frankton is turning into a car park for the district. Mina Amso has more.
Rows and rows of cars parked on a field in Frankton is a sight becoming more common near Queenstown Airport. And Frankton Community Association President Glyn Lewis says it's a reflection of the town's growth. But he doesn't want to see cars growing on paddocks. He also sees the efforts made by the Queenstown Lakes District Council to cut down on vehicles going to the town's centre has pushed motorists to park in Frankton's already overflowing streets.
So a lot of the residents west of the highway towards the lake are getting frustrated with the amount of parking that are blocking driveways.
He sees many people are parking in Frankton before jumping on a $2 bus.
The facilities for the buses haven't caught up to the actual service the buses are providing.
The council is proposing a park and ride facility in Frankton to help ease traffic congestion in the CBD. However, the proposal is non-notified, meaning residents will not be told or consulted about the location or be given the chance to voice their views. Lewis says park and rides should be notified and no council-owned reserve land should be used for park and rides.
We have a pretty severe severance issue between the old Frankton Village and the Remarkables Park Event Centre side, so we don't really want that to worsen.
In a response, General Manager for Property and Infrastructure Peter Hansby told the South Today any sites chosen would undergo a rigorous due diligence process, which would include an assessment of the key stakeholders and impacts on the wider community.
The wording in the current proposal in the district plan does not suggest that.
Lewis would like to see park and rides be placed in residential areas instead.
A bit more thought would have to go into it. You'd probably look at more where the traffic gets generated from, and coupled with a more friendlier bus surface.
The council has yet to make a decision as to where the new park and ride will be placed. Mina Amstow, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, after a social media post on a dangerous Wanaka intersection, it could be given a roundabout, and one of Oamaru's historic restaurants is to reopen.
Oh, I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect.
So we won't fall.
Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey there. Whoa.
You fell for it.
Yep, I fell for it.
Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust.
I'm cotton soft on the environment too.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
Massive menswear sale on now. Alex Campbell Menswear have brought out a top suppliers warehouse and factory shop. Nothing but bargains for you. Hurry in, South Dunedin store only.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent. And where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Thanks for staying with us. A social media post calling a Wanaka intersection dangerous has prompted calls for a roundabout to be introduced. But the New Zealand Transport Agency says they will not make any changes anytime soon.
An intersection serving as the main route from Wanaka to Albertown has recently come under scrutiny from the Upper Clutha community. Last Sunday, a Facebook post calling for something to be done about the so-called dangerous intersection received nearly 100 likes and dozens of replies. Some have suggested a roundabout be put in place and speed restrictions. NZTA Senior Safety Engineer Roy Johnston says small changes could be made, but major work is unlikely, with higher risk intersections to tend to first. Wanaka, the South Today.
One of Oamaru's historic restaurants has acquired a new owner who plans to reopen. The South Today found out more.
The historic Last Post pub and restaurant is to be reopened with new owner Trevor Griggs, who was a former chef, originally from Christchurch and having spent the last 7 years overseas.
Okay, the plans are to, first off, is to reopen it pretty much as it was. And then I'm looking at just in a few minor changes, and I've got to see what the market is and what they want actually, to be honest.
While the restaurant building was Oamaru's first post office dating back to 1863, the new owner feels that Oamaru is growing into a 21st century town.
I was here some years ago when I visited my sister, and it was just a so-so town, but now it's really up there, competing with the bigger cities, Christchurch, Wellington and Auckland.
Griggs has some simple rules for attracting local diners.
Just really the food and the service. Keep it friendly, keep it simple, keep it good and keep it wholesome.
It is hoped that the restaurant will be open by mid-May. Oamaru, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The days of speculation are over as the new site for the Dunedin Hospital rebuild is announced. A family of filmmakers travel around New Zealand for a film project on child abuse. And the Dunedin's annual fashion show gets underway at the new Town Hall venue. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Paul Gorman.
Hi Melissa, how are you?
I'm good.
It's been a big week in news in the South.
It's been a big day of news.
I know, we're still actually trying to work out. It's interesting when you're putting a newspaper together, all the options about where things might go, and we've got so much stuff on the hospital announcement. So everything's up in the air, but I can guarantee there'll be lots to read tomorrow about the hospital. All the angles will be covered, so it's just a massive bit of news, and it comes at the end of a week where we've had, the Fortune Theatre closing, the Columba College ructions, the ID, what's the other big thing? Cadbury World, and we're still not quite sure what's happening, whether there might still be some future for the Cadbury World thing or not. On any other day that would have been a massive story, but of course it's been overshadowed today by the hospital. So you can read all about that stuff tomorrow. But of course it's the final, it's the winners of the ID Emerging Designer will be announced tonight. So the designers will emerge, the winning ones, so that will be good.
I'm looking forward to that too.
You're going?
Yes.
Yeah, that will be good. That will be quite late for us. We'll have to try and sneak that into the paper later. And of course we've got the weekend mix tomorrow as well. A couple of interesting stories. One on training your taste buds to actually enjoy healthy food, like sometimes healthy food doesn't taste as good as the stuff you shouldn't eat.
Oh yeah, getting used to like lower salt intake and everything like that, and it's a gradually,
yeah. So that's interesting. There's another one about modern arranged marriages, how that works. A lot of people from India have arranged marriages, so that's an interesting read as well. I'm still swamped with photos from the autumn competition in the page 2 column. We got about 250 photos and I'm still trying to run them. So they will be going on into next week, and we will announce some winners on Wednesday next week. So
fantastic. I'm sure people wanted to know when the winners were coming up.
Yeah, Wednesday.
It's
a lot to choose from.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paul. Okay. So keep an eye out for next Wednesday. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Today's Southern View is part of the area chosen for Dunedin's new hospital. Looking at the situation, a cold front will bring some rain to most areas later tomorrow, then it will be followed by cooler westerly air streams which will keep things breezy on Sunday and Monday. Looking at the southern towns, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, you can all expect strong winds, rain and easing and a high of 14 degrees. Moving westwards to central Alexandra, you can have fresh winds, late rain and 15 degrees. The same for Queenstown and Wanaka with a high of 14 degrees, and Te Anau can expect strong winds but rain easing and a high of 14. Looking at the northern towns, Oamaru and Timaru are in for moderate winds, late rain with a high of 16 or 17 degrees. Amarama and Twizel, fresh winds, late rain and a high of 14. In Dunedin tonight it will be cloudy and breezy with northerly winds with an overnight low of 8. Tomorrow is cloudy with some light rain developing mid to late afternoon, moderate winds decreasing later in the day, 15 and 10. Fine at first on Sunday, but a few showers developing during the afternoon with cooler west to southwesterly winds, fresh and gusty at time, 14 and 8 degrees. And in Invercargill tonight it will be cloudy with winds freshening with an overnight low of 8. Tomorrow sees cloudy with periods of rain easing to showers during the day and winds tending from fresh to strong, 14 and 8, and showers strong and gusty cool winds on Sunday, 13 and 8. And that's our news for this Friday. For the latest news from the Southern region, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.